Stretching your neck is pretty much an extension of your spine. However, I like to think of it differently because we have so many muscles that control the direction of your head. So the first thing we're going to do is gentle circles. And I want you to inhale as you roll your head forward and exhale as you roll your head and tilt backwards. And I want you to just think of making the circles smaller to bigger so that you don't force the neck to go further than it should. So these muscles tend to be tense for most people, and you might find there's crunchies and all sorts of cracking going on. That's just an indication that you are hitting some tight muscles, okay? And after a couple of revolutions in one direction, you're going to switch directions, inhaling down, exhaling backwards, and just be mindful, what are your shoulders doing? So as you bring your head to one side, that shoulder might want to lurch up on you. Check in with it, tell it to go back down. Keep pulling the shoulders down as if you're holding 100-pound weights. Okay, and also while you're doing this, it's helpful if you find a spot that feels particularly tight. So say you're tilting this way and it feels almost painful towards the side that you're tilting towards, hold it there for a moment and squeeze it a little, and then move on. Okay? And then come back to center. And since your head can obviously go in all planes of motion, we're going to turn to each side like you're trying to look over your shoulder, hold a few seconds, and switch sides. Now this might not seem like static stretching to you because I'm staying in motion, but I'm just kind of priming the muscles so that you can then hold them for a longer period of time. So stay here on your right side. Take a deep breath in and use your eyes. Try to keep looking past your shoulder, feeling all of that stretch out, and be mindful again of that opposite shoulder. Make sure it's not lurching up on you. We're trying to make space between the shoulder and your chin. So imagine you've got a rubber band attached to your chin and your shoulder and you're trying to stretch it. And good. All the way over to the other side. Same idea. Just make sure you're looking over that shoulder with your eyes. Pick your focal points, keep trying to see past it, pick a new one. Shoulders pressing back. And same thing here. Since we can go in so many different directions, feel around, okay? Maybe looking up in this position produces a completely different stretch that you feel like you need more. Or maybe looking down, okay? It's a very complicated set of muscles in there. So take your time with it because this really has a lot to do with blood flow to the brain and headaches. If you have any, this is a really great go-to for tension headaches and migraines. Okay, and I know I'm super tight up here, so I could stay here all day. So that is a good way to get to all of those muscles along the sides and the front. But there's one position that is really difficult to sort of conceive of and perform. So I'm going to turn sideways. I kind of call this the pigeon stretch for the head because we think about how people can bob their heads forward and backward, and I see this a lot with push-ups. When we strain with our upper bodies, the head just wants to reach and get there and be the first one over the finish line, but we don't want that. We want to keep the chin tucked. So why does that keep happening? Well, because these muscles are tight and they're going to default to coming to this position, and my neck really does this, so I have to be very mindful of it. So I want you to imagine or even put yourself against a wall, but I'm going to just show you from this direction. Imagine you're trying to make a double chin and press the back of your neck into a wall, and you should feel all of those muscles pull tight. Now, it's kind of awkward in a weird position, and if I'm really doing it right, my voice gets all funny. But that means you're really compressing these muscles here and stretching the back. Okay, and relax. So once you figure out how to do that, I want you to really try to ingrain that position in your head. So anytime you're doing an upper body exercise, whether it's a push or a pull or an overhead press, you want to stabilize the neck. We don't want it moving and bobbing and reaching when we're trying to move the arms. So make sure that you really commit those to memory and perform them as frequently as possible.